Hey Hebrew fans, so today we are going to talk about the playset Eternia versus what we've seen in the cartoon for Eternia. So with that, let's go ahead and get this thing running so we can watch it go around and around while I'm talking. There we go. Hooray. Anyway, so let's go ahead and watch a clip from the cartoon, and then we'll come back and discuss the difference in the toy. So here is the entrance to Pre-Eternia, and this is where they kind of fell through from a giant blast that Orko caused, and you can kind of see them flying through there. Now, Pre-Eternia is basically like heaven for heroes in Eternia, and so as they go through the door, they are now propelled into Pre-Eternia, which is really weird they call it that. I mean, we've seen Pre-Eternia called that in the comics because it was a prehistoric Eternia. But here you can see that here it is. It's just really the Eternia playset. And I just kind of wish they just would call it something else besides Pre-Eternia. Maybe Heroes Heaven or something. I don't know. Notice that weird little block on the side of the Grayskull Tower. And there's the Viper Tower. And let's look more at that block in a few minutes and really talk about it. So notice the actual track goes through the block. And it's kind of strange because obviously the toy doesn't have anything like that. This kind of like stop for the monorail to go through there. Now here you can see there's a mountain actually with a snow cap on it, so you know this is pretty tall. There again is our Grayskull Tower, and you can see the other side of it where the tram stops. And here is the central tower. And let's lighten it up so we can see it a little better. There we go. And let's start at the bottom and take a look at this. And get a good look at this tower, and it's just monstrous inside. Now it has the inside, you can see it has the mouth open, has the gargoyles on there, the track's being held on just like the toy is, but it has little claws. It's kind of cool. And then of course we have the windows up at the top of the tower as well. And notice it's a little taller than the snow-capped mountain. And then the monorail goes through the mountain in the hole and then continues on to the other towers. It's almost kind of like the tower built for Thundercats, built in the mountain. You can see here the mouth opened up, and notice all the light around it. These are the upper windows, and they actually end up closing, and it's kind of cool the way they close on there. Let's get a better look at it. And you can also see the way that claw hangs on to that monorail. And then here again is the Grayskull Tower, and you can see that caged part on the bottom there. Let's get a better look at that. Zoom in. There we go. And it has these cool little lighted fire baskets outside of it as well. And you can see the stairs going around are all broken up. And then again is our monorail stop where people can get off the monorail and keep going. All right, now take a look at this. This is an interesting scene. In this scene, we see this poster or giant tapestry, and it shows 4 towers. And Tita's even asking, 4 towers. We can see the Grayskull Tower, we can see the Central Tower, the Viper Tower. But what's that tower between the Viper Tower and the Central Tower? So it does show us a closer picture in the cartoon. And if you take a look, you can tell it has almost like a Havoc staff for the bottom. Now, I think it's strange there's 4 towers. Not quite sure what that's all about, but maybe we'll find out in the next cartoon. When she recreates Pre-Eternia, there's no 4th tower. Notice it only has the 3 towers are Grayskull, Central, and Viper Tower, and that's it. Kind of interesting how they did that. And then, of course, there's all the heroes in there as well. So one thing you'll notice is obviously this only has 3 towers. We have our Castle Grayskull looking tower. We have the Snake Mountain Tower, which is the Viper Tower. And then we have the Central Tower. Now we saw in the cartoon that there was a 4th tower. It should be right about here, which you saw had like a Havoc staff or something in it. And we also saw in the cartoon, if you watched it, that she uses the Castle Grayskull power, the Snake power, and the Havoc staff power to bring it back. The strange part is after it's brought back, there's still only just the 3 towers. Just the Castle Grayskull type tower, the Central Tower, and the Viper Tower. So I'm wondering, are we going to see that fourth tower in the next installation of the cartoon, and how is it going to be? When I first saw the fourth tower, I thought maybe it was the Horde, the evil Horde. But we saw that actually it was not. It was actually that Havoc staff, which it's kind of interesting that they don't actually have the tower. You think that Mattel, I don't know if they're going to release a special external tower to add to the set. That'd be so cool. Give us some more monorail track and slide that puppy in right there, right in between these two. Slide this thing over and then put the Havoc staff or the Havoc tower right there and somehow tie it into the existing track so it can actually have its own track to go around. That'd be so cool. But anyway, I just thought it was strange that the cartoon showed four towers when there's been 3 towers ever since this toy was first released in the late 80s. So we saw in the cartoon the eyes and the mouth lit up as well. So that hack that we saw from Home Arcade was basically to pull off this faceplate here and then add a light source right here. Now I was saying to use 2 different light sources, one for each eye. Just use some poster putty and stick it on there. And once you have it on there, then you've got your remote control, and you can just go ahead and turn it on. And we'll turn it off for now. We'll turn it on once the face is back on. Face back on. And let's go ahead and light it up. And let's go ahead and put it on yellow. And you can see now we got a lot of light down here, just like they had in the cartoon, as well as the eyes being lit up, which I guess matches the cartoon better than what I was thinking. So I'm definitely going to keep the lights on for this play set like that. Now, one thing which is way different, which is obvious on all the play sets, is obviously it's a whole lot smaller. We saw that when they were fixing the sword, when Roboto was inside, the building was huge. We see that also with Grayskull and Snake Mountain and everything else. Usually the toy versions are a whole lot smaller because we obviously can't have this giant monster play set. Otherwise, just the center tower alone would fill up your living room, probably like 8 feet tall. In fact, in the cartoon, you notice there's a mountain behind it. And this tower actually goes a little taller than the mountain in the cartoon, and it has snow on top of the mountain and no snow on the bottom. So to have snow at that height and no snow down here, that's an awfully tall tower between the two. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video. And like they say in the 1987 movie, good journey. Let that go. Go ahead and just slide this back a little bit so you guys can watch that. It's a tough time making it up that hill.